I love the Monoprice Select Mini range of 3D printers, and they are the ones that are, in my opinion, the ones to beat. Great price, works perfect out of the box, great user interface, much better than Marlin in every way. It's a printer that gets a lot of things right, but not everything. And I am always on the lookout for that 3D printer that's going to dethrone my favorite and become my new favorite recommendation. And make me say, step aside, Monoprice V2, because I now have the Monoprice Select V3. The Monoprice Select Mini series of printers has always been my favorite since the V1, but the V1 wasn't perfect. In particular, the hot end had a big problem with it, and you would very commonly buy an E3D hot end and swap that out for the V1. Then the V2 comes along, and what do? They put the E3D hot end in it to begin with, which I think was a fantastic choice. And it showed that they were listening to their audience and customers, and they were responding to them in kind. The V2 had some other additional things, but one problem that it had was that the cables for the heater and the thermistor on the heated build plate would wear out over time going back and forth. And when that happened, the best thing to do was to replace the thermal sensor and then reroute the wires out the back, drill a hole in the back, and route them that way. That way they'd be able to flow nicely. What did they fix for the V3? Oh, so many things. Did they fix the problem with the cables? Absolutely. Instead of having a normal cable that kind of gets squished inside here or running it out the back themselves, they've replaced the thermistor and the heater wires with a ribbon cable that just folds nicely and goes with this motion absolutely perfectly. Now, I've only been playing with this 3D printer for a couple of weeks now, maybe a month. And during that time, I haven't seen any problems, but this problem doesn't show up until months and months of use. So we'll see if that's not a problem, but I suspect it isn't going to be. Another thing that this 3D printer does is, while the previous versions had bright, colorful touch or interfaces that were not touchscreen, and you would oftentimes touch them thinking that they were, this one absolutely does. It's a touchscreen, and you can touch it, and it works. And I love that. I love that. Just major improvement. Now, one thing that I noticed straight out when I pulled this thing out and started to play with it was that you don't level the build plate. The build plate is, in fact, removable. And this solid metal removable build plate, though, gives you the opportunity to take it off, cool it, and if you had another one, switch it out and start another print. I don't have another one, but I love that it's removable. But how do you level the build plate? You don't. It has an auto leveling on here. Now, with the previous versions of the Monoprice Select Mini, I had them out of the box and printing within an hour because they were already assembled, and all I had to do was level the build plate and going. With this printer, I was printing within a half an hour because the automated leveling took care of that for me. It was so cool. The interface is not completely clear on where you find it. You're going to have to turn to the manual the first time. And part of me wonders how bad that is. It kind of makes me feel like it's not for total beginners with that. But at the same time, it's not that bad once you get it. You come in, you tell it to auto home. Let's do that right now. Auto level. And it will put it into first position and use a sensor. I assume it's not a capacitive sensor. It can sense the metal, is what it is, to find where the build plate is in this corner, in this corner, in this corner, and in this corner. And in doing so, it will correct your print for any unlevelness of the build plate. So it takes those 4 points and creates a imaginary plane in it. And if it's tilted, it will move the arm up and down to correct that and print your print at a tilt. It's very cool, and it's a solved problem. Now, it is only 4-point leveling, and with leveling like this, it's potentially possible to do more readings and get a more accurate view of the entire level. And they could do that in the future. It would be a simple firmware upgrade to do that. But for right now, yeah, it's 4-point leveling. But it works. It works just fine. You do have to play with a setting to determine how close or far that is the first time that you print with it. And I was surprised at how high I had to take that, or low, how close I had to get it. I ended up with a adjustment setting of 0.8, which I assume is 0.8 of a millimeter. That's pretty high, a gap between where it thought it needed to be and where I was telling it. But once I did that, everything on it was printing just fine. For the price, you will still never find a better 3D printer than this one, and I am super impressed with it. It's not perfect. I will admit that. One of the biggest downsides that people might complain about is the fact that the build area is so small. It's a mere 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. But look at all the things that you 3D print. How many of them would fit on that build volume? It's actually like good for 90% of what I print, at least, and I'm guessing probably the same as you. And as a designer, I think it's a good idea to be aware of this restriction and learn to break up your designs in parts with little interfaces that are small enough to print on a printer this size so that you can appeal to the widest audience. One thing I worry about is that while they have fixed the problems in the past, just like every iteration of the Monoprice Select Mini line has, they've added new features, and I'm worried that those new features will create new problems in the future. For instance, how long is this sensor going to last and dangling out here? What happens when it gets hit by curling filament or something like that? And this touchscreen is great. I love it, but it's not perfect. For instance, whenever you print something, it's listed out in lines just like in the old interface, and hitting those lines with these big fat fingers of mine is sometimes a problem. I'll select the wrong thing and not know it until it starts printing, or know it right away because I'm paying attention. And that's frustrating. This menu should be large icons, or at least large buttons, and no more than 4 or 6 of them on the screen, so it's easy for my big fat fingers to hit. Also, they still haven't scripted much with this interface, and that I wish that they would do. I wish that instead of loading the filament, having it be I go to preheat and I set it up and I move the Z-axis up to get it out of the way and I automatically advance this. I would love a script on there to say load filament, and it says, okay, moving this out of the way and heating it up and reversing the filament out, maybe pushing it out a little bit first to get the tip of the filament nice and squishy, and then pulling it out automatically. And now tell me what filament you're loading, and let's heat it up to the right temperature, and let's thread it in there manually. I would love if it would do that for me. I also will niggle about the build plate being removable. Yes, it's removable, but I don't have a second one, and it's not flexible. It's solid steel, which I recognize is necessary for the sensor to pick up, but I can't pop my prints off by twisting it because I am not the Hulk or Superman or whatever. It's too hard. And so basically I just have to wait for it to cool and then chisel it off just like everything else. The one last niggle about these printers is Monoprice. How come you don't put your name on here? I keep on having to tell people in the makerspace that, yeah, this one's the Monoprice Select Mini. I know it doesn't say it, but the slicer says Monoprice Select Mini. It means this printer. It means this printer. That's just put your sticker on here, guys. That's all I'm asking. But that's a minor niggle, and it has nothing to do with the functionality of this printer, which is amazing. It has nothing to do with the accuracy of this printer, which is spot on. It has nothing to do with the ease of use of this printer, for which I have not found better. This printer is a little bit more expensive than the V2. In fact, it's a raise in price comparable to the raise in price from the V1 to the V2. And I feel like the price that it goes at almost crosses a line. Not quite. It's very close to that line, though, to where people are going to go back and go, I don't know. And if you do that, then get the V2, but just keep in mind that you're going to need to reroute those cables one day, and that's the only fix you're going to have to do on that printer, and when you do that, it'll run forever. This one, I don't know of any maintenance that it needs now or is going to need. I've been printing on this printer for weeks and running all sorts of different filament through it, and it's taken everything like a champ. Honestly, I love the Monoprice Select Mini V3. This is my new favorite 3D printer and my new go-to recommendation for people. Overall, super happy with this printer, and now this is the one for everybody else to try and beat. Oh, I love this interface. Oh, Monoprice Select Mini. I love you guys. You guys are getting everything right. Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for watching to this point. I want to thank my Patreon backers for their support. More needed than ever. You guys are the wind beneath my wings, and thank you very much. And I want to remind you, as always, safety first. I'll see you next time.